Hello everybody, welcome to my workshop and welcome to my garage. It is finally time for the Great Guitar Build Off 2021 for me to finally start getting rolling on my kit build entry. So what I've got is my kit from Crimson Guitars. I opted for their new multi-scale kit. So I got the neck. I did request it be carved. I didn't carve this neck, it came in carved, but it did come fretted, and I did ask them to crown and level the frets. They came out really well. One thing, being in Arizona, one thing that developed after about 2 days of the neck being here is I did get some fret sprout. That was to be expected coming from a more damp climate such as the UK, and then coming to a much more arid climate like Tucson, Arizona. So I did expect the fret sprout to happen. Very minor. You can just feel it up and down the sides of the frets. I'll take care of that when I go to do the neck. It does have an uncut neck shot, peg head shape on it, so I will be designing and cutting out the peg head for that. The body blank is just that. It is a blank. Sapele with a flame sycamore top on it, so we'll be going through on that. We will be designing our own body to put on this, but it'll have some bevels and other things associated with it. It won't just be a square slab of wood. We're going to do some beveling and some shaping on the body as well. For the tuners, I went with HipShot tuners again. I was so impressed with them on a recent Strat build that I did. I went with HipShot tuners again. This time though, I am using locking tuners, but this time I've got the open. See if you can see that. The open geared tuners is what I went with on this. I think that'll give it a really nice look for the guitar on what I'm going for. So I'm looking forward to getting that together and seeing how everything comes out with that. For the bridge, I also went with the HipShot bridge. Their multi-scale bridge. They're one of the few companies that I was able to find that sold multi-scale bridges. So we've got the bridge already for this. For the pickups, I'm going to be doing my own pickups. What I've done is I ordered a cheap set of multi-scale pickups off of Amazon just so I can get a template for the base plate. And then I'll be cutting out the base plate and then building wood bobbins. I'm going to go with, depends on how I decide to finish the top, depends on which kind of wood I use. I'm thinking zebra wood may look really good. I've also got some cocobolo, and I've also got some flame maple, and I may do that as well for the pickup bobbin. So I'll be building those and then winding my own pickups for that. So I'm really looking forward to getting going on this build. So as we go through this next little bit, we'll be going through drawing up the body. Let's get rolling. All right, so I think I've about decided on a body shape. See how well that shows up in there. I'm thinking that's going to look pretty good. I've got it entering about the 19th fret right there, and I've compromised kind of right about the 16th fret up here at the top. That's going to give me a nice neck pocket to glue to and still give me enough to make a nice contoured heel in the back. I'm probably going to have bevels coming up and then down to where this will be beveled through to show the maple and the sapele up underneath, and then probably just probably a bevel here, and then of course this will be beveled down here too, just beveling the edges to get the cross grain on this flame sycamore before it goes in. That's going to leave me plenty of room here for my control cavity. Also plenty of room here for the bridge. So I'm thinking that's going to work. And then for a neck shape, what I'm looking at, I'm not sure if you can see the lines here, what I'm considering. Nothing fancy, but as it is a pointy guitar, it needs to have a pointy neck stock to it. And then I'll probably bevel. I'm not sure if I'm going to put a veneer on top of this or not. I may put a flame maple veneer on top of that just to kind of blend it in, and that'll make for some nice edges as I bevel them over. So that's the plan. It's now time to head to the bandsaw. it is now time to start working on carving the contours and bevels into the body. So that's what we're going to start doing next. Here's a good look at the body. You can see I've got some lines drawn right around the edges. I'm going to do just a 45 bevel right to the edge of the core wood for the top, and then I'll be extending the bevels here on the top and the sides. So we'll get everything set up and we'll start filing. All right, so what I've done is finished cutting out the body and doing all the initial shaping on the body for my Great Guitar Build-Off build. So here it is. What I've done is I cut the basic shape out, and then on the back I've added a comfort contour on the back. I've also done some carving for hand access for the upper frets. On the front, again, I've done some hand access here for the upper frets, and I'm going to finish this area once I get the neck mounted and glued in, because that way I'll be shaping the heel. I'll get the heel shaped, and then all of this, try to make it as organic and seamless as possible as all that shapes together. For the body, basically I've got about a 1/4 inch bevel all the way around at the edge. And then, as you can see, I've also relieved a little bit more at the top for some arm access, and also to give it a little contrast between the flame sycamore and the sapele that's underneath. Basically what's left with the body, like I said, I'm going to get the neck mounted. I'm going to finish doing all of the carving for the heel, the neck heel, and hand access. And I still need to decide what I want to do for the cover. I really liked what Ben Crow did on his Shred 2 build. It's something I'd been thinking about for a long time for access covers, is to actually do a dovetail and a slide in with it with magnets to hold it in. And I'm really considering doing that on this. It's just a matter of if I have time or not, because I did get started kind of late on my build. But I hope you've enjoyed this process of going through the body, of cutting it out, of designing it, cutting it out, and doing the carving and the initial carving on it. Still got a little work to do to straighten up some edges and clean up some edges and make them nice and crisp like what I want them to be, but that's going to be later on down the road as I get the neck on and I can adjust and go from there. So please click like and subscribe if you like what you see. I'm going to be continuing on with this build as well as starting some scratch build stuff. So this is my Great Guitar Build-Off 2021 kit build. Thank you very much for joining, and look forward to the next installment. Thank you.